Hello, everybody. Here we are. It's time for more good, strong hands. Waha! Um, let's go around really quickly and remind everybody who's listening or watching, who you are and what you're playing. So who's Junie?
Junie is a mischievous, fun-loving pixie who is very loyal to her friends. And unfortunately, she's been drawing some unwanted attention to herself and has received recently her first corruption point.
Oh no!
She's falling into the evil.
She's the princess of fucking darkness.
Yeah. I was so excited to break out the gray lipstick today, y'all.
Oh, and let's hear about Sparky.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk, and I'm playing Sparky, who is an imp. And he's been really trying to figure out what to do because he's not too sure what to do at any point. But a lot of stuff has been happening, and one of his friends is getting a little murdery. So I'm kind of hoping someone's gonna do something about that.
Nah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. No
It's all
promises,
good.
right?
Who knows? Tune in. Find out.
Tell us about Aqualaria.
Aqualaria is a woodkin. She is a bit more contemplative than everybody else in the group and has kind of become the voice of adult reason.
As much as possible.
As much as that's actually possible.
Is she pulling out her leaves yet? Like just ah!
Not quite, but depending upon what Junie does in the next couple of hours, that could change.
And let's meet Parsley.
Parsley is a paragon rabbit. For a while, I was thinking of just keeping her as maybe not to the same degree as Aqualaria, with trying to be level-headed, but seeing how Junie is going into the dark side of things, who knows? I feel like she's going to be very conflicted of either keeping on track or maybe just making sure her best friend doesn't fall into the darkness by herself.
Maybe the trick is lifting an X-wing out of a swamp.
That's gonna happen any minute now.
Guys, I chose a specially themed mug just for today.
I love the heck out of that thing.
Because
wow.
Yeah, be careful how you drink out of that. If you rotate it the wrong way.
Put an eye out.
Nice.
Because the group is in fact looking for a unicorn. As was established, there's foul water, bad water, kind of spreading throughout the world through their forest that they came from, and the group found their way to a volcano edge, where there was this old ruin, just a kind of a small stone magically formed building, and on top of it was a telescope. And they made their way up in there, dealt with some more flying lava eels along the way. Got a chance to take a look at the place, which is pretty much was pretty much abandoned and empty, save for carvings and paintings of faraway places. Aqualaria used the telescope after the group fixed it, because the rumbling earth was breaking it apart, and managed to find a unicorn, a relatively nearby unicorn, far away in a forest that was dying. It appeared it was the vegetation was dying and withering away. So the unicorn is in dire straits. So the group said, "Well, we must go and help," and their red cap friend from back in the forest caught up to them, the one that's cursed to act like a chicken,
Sanders.
who they named Sanders.
Oh, he's dead. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Bernie lost his Sanders last game.
Wah, wah. They took him along and ultimately had to float down a river of lava on a slab of stone which proved to be nearly the group's undoing. Like, people had a really hard time just jumping onto a slab of stone, but they all managed to get away. And eventually were rescued by a person flying a sort of ornithopter vehicle, a big rotorcoptered platform, magical, mechanical thing. And they climbed up onto this platform with this fellow, and it turned out to be a human person who, according to legend, the humans are terrible and horrible and loud and nasty, and they destroy things. His name was Frederick Small, and he spun a story of being an inventor from Earth and how he traveled here a few times to the land of Reverie, and his flying machine didn't really work on Earth, but when he got magicked up in Reverie, he was able to fly it around. He escorted the group along. Junie never once trusted him. I came very close to getting the whole group on board. Everybody else seemed to be kind of okay with the guy, but Junie was like, nope.
Not doing it.
And they found a place to sit down that night. Junie, everybody except for Junie fell asleep because of magical Wizard of Oz poppy poison, and Junie awoke to seeing Frederick Small, this human that had just saved them, choking the life out of their red-cap friend Sanders.
Yep.
Like full-on killing the red cap. A fight ensued. The group has proven to be remarkably averse to killing. So in the process of dealing with Frederick Small, they found numerous ways to bind and otherwise immobilize and kind of keep Small from hurting anybody. And ultimately, we ended with with I believe Small is cowering in fear while also rooted to the ground by plants that were animated.
Yep.
I also busted his kneecap.
And he got like, I think he got poked in the eye, cracked in the kneecap, swatted in the groin. Like he's like 7 different kinds of hurt, and also tied up by tree roots. And Sparky went to destroy his, clearly evil, terrible flying contraption, which then transformed itself into what is effectively a very large mechanical cat-type creature, which proceeded to nuzzle up against Sparky's face as the last episode came to a close.
Yep,
and
that triggered a fear response, and I went.
Well, it's made of wood, so did you set it on fire when it did that?
It's magical.
It is wood and metal. There's the platform was wood, but there's and the railings were wood, but there were the motor and the rotors and everything were all metal. So it's both. And now there's this. Basically, we're left with the group at night with Small tied up and in a lot of pain, and this big mechanical cat beast thing that is purring. And the purring sounds very much like you don't recognize it being folk from Reverie, but it sounds like an engine, like a really low hum of an engine. As he and now he's. We'll start this with Sparky zipped back into his lantern, and now the cat creature is like playing with the lantern like it's a ball of yarn, just knocking it back and forth. And so, however, Sparky, I don't know if you actually turn around and upside down and over inside the lantern, or if you're just a spirit that's in there.
Upside down or in the lantern.
But your point of view is shifting consistently as you are being batted around by the giant mechanical cat beast. So take it away, everybody. What are you gonna do now?
How late is it in the night?
It's middle of the night.
Oof.
Y'all are just gonna go to sleep and
I'll just go back to sleep and leave the cat.
Get out of here.
Sparky will be fine.
He's in a lantern. It's no big deal. It's fine. Magic lantern.
Sparky, I think you can handle this, right? Seems you got it situated.
I know there's a chain attached to that lamp. Can I reach said chain without getting in the way of giant cat paws?
It's not that long of a chain because it hangs from my neck.
Yeah,
You
you can try to
About
snatch
here,
the
so
toy
the
away
chain's
from
like
the
this
giant
big?
mechanical cat.
Do you want
Sorry?
to stay a cat toy, or would you like to leave?
give me a body check, target number 4, to snatch the toy away from the cat creature.
I can help.
No. 2, 3.
Okay, hold on.
And Junie turns into a firefly
Whoop!
and starts doing the laser pointer thing.
Laser pointer.
Like she hovers near the ground and then like wiggles a little and then like whoop darts off and she's going to try to distract the cat.
Okay. I think we can call that. What kind of a check do you think that is?
Ooh.
Sell me on it. I'm not entirely sure what that is. What that would be.
I mean, I would go either charm as like, you know, she's trying to distract the cat,
Sure.
or if we're going more like, can Junie do this without actually being caught? I would go body.
Let's call it charm. Charm makes sense. Yeah, it's a distraction. You're trying to manipulate the perceptions of the
Yes.
of the giant cat creature.
All right, what's my target?
Target number 5. Well,
Okay,
yeah.
so-
You know what? Target number 5, but do it with advantage because you're a point of light in the darkness.
Excellent. Slightly dimmer than before. So I've got
Slightly- oh, you dim. Is it noticeable? Like would your friends, for example, would Parsley in particular
I think
notice
Parsley
that
would
your
notice.
firefly light is dimmer?
I think
That's
Parsley
good.
would notice. I don't think the others would.
Okay, so the Parsley you see that.
So I've got a charm of 3, so I'm rolling with 4 because of the advantage, and that is 1 success.
Yeah, you managed to get the cat beast looking at you, and now the cat beast is like following you around, and you have become a laser pointer.
Excellent.
So like it runs over and tries to pounce, but you're really small and it's really big, so like it never really gets you, and you can just move around like a cat
Yeah.
following a laser pointer.
I make it follow its tail at one point. I make it run into a tree, like all the things you do with your cat.
All the
Yeah.
standards, right? Try to make it run
You
into
make
a
your
wall.
cat run into
Yeah.
the trees.
Climbs. Well, they never.
Oh my god, it's so fun when they slide into the
If you get them on a like a
Okay.
on like a
Please
linoleum
don't call
floor,
the ASPCA on me. Yeah. They slide.
they hit the some sort of slick floor and they slide into the corner. And then they just keep right on after the thing.
They do.
Yeah. They shake it off. They look at you like, I meant to do that, and then they go right back into it.
They jump up on their feet and go, ta-da!
It's the reason they need 9 lives.
Okay, so Sparky is free of being a toy.
I will reform.
Whoop! With a
Am
puff
I
of smoke.
lying on the ground, or did name Aqualaria get me?
No, I missed. I tried, but I didn't.
Right, but then they the thing was distracted, and you had like
Oh, I see.
time. So,
Yeah, I suppose is the moment the cat was distracted, I would have pulled the lantern backwards.
yeah. So I'll reform halfway during that, and then you're just dragging me by the neck.
But-
I'm like, "Ah, why?
Sorry.
Okay, what the heck is that thing? Is that normal? Does that happen?
No.
I didn't think it could do that. Should we
Should we
go
trust
away?
it?
It's a human machine. I don't know if you noticed what happened to the human who built it, but I don't think we should.
Well, I mean, is it? Do we know that? If it can do that, did it really come from wherever the human was from?
I don't know anything about humans like all that much. I know they build machines, and the machines don't do good stuff. So
And I wonder why it didn't show that form whenever the human was around. Maybe it was hiding. Or
maybe the human had some sort of button. You know, their machines, they have buttons. And then when they push the button, it turns into a flying machine. Maybe I accidentally pushed the button as I was going to smash it. Maybe the human pushed the button to turn it into a giant cat and have it, eat us.
I call out to Junie. Hey, Junie, see if it'll talk.
While you've been having this discussion, Junie, you've actually tired the cat out. Like it's noticeably slower, and it's kind of lost interest.
Oh, I think it's running out of fuel.
Sputter, sputter, sputter.
Junie will transform back into a pixie and sort of hover in front of it.
And then it gets very sad and stops following you entirely.
can you talk? Hello?
Mm-hmm. Just kind of cocks its head, looks at you.
Do you understand me?
It kind of settles down from the rambunctiousness that it was displaying. It starts to kind of walk in a circle and knead the ground around it. And then it starts to curl up and lie down without looking at you because it's a cat.
I think it lacks intelligence.
Go with no.
No.
That's fair.
But the purr, the low purr of the engine continues.
It's making a funny sound, though.
We
I
have
still say
conflict
we should
interests,
get out
right?
of here while it's looking over there.
But where will we go? We got this cat, and then on this direction we got human, and it's dark. We should drop the human off a ledge.
You look back to where Frederick Small was
Uh-oh.
to discover that he is gone. The roots that were kind of reached out to hold him are in more or less, it appears, the same kind of position, but they're holding nothing.
Right. Yeah. Like he disappeared.
Vanished.
After it broke out.
As if he was never here at all.
I didn't know humans could teleport.
Maybe we just imagined it. Maybe like volcano gas makes you a little loopy in the head.
Has this been a hallucination this entire time?
Maybe we're still at the mountain.
Everybody's vomiting rainbows.
I know, Judy checks for her berries.
Whoops.
Just gonna randomly touch grass. And
It
trees
was
and
all a
stuff.
dream.
Yeah.
if I
best riding
ever pull that on you, oof.
Oh, dude.
Although, real quick side note, Allie, maybe one of the best games I've ever run was All a Dream, that Deadlands game.
Okay, no, that's very true. Literally the greatest single night of gaming that I've ever played was his story, and it was a dream. And we did, in fact, reference that dream later on to confirm that we were all the people that we were supposed to be, and nobody had been replaced by someone.
It was full of portents. It was full of predictions and things. And it was all done by candlelight, and as their characters died in the dream, they had to blow out their candles and scream.
Oh, that's sick.
No, it was.
Then when all the lights were out, I just went to bed. I just left them sitting there. I got up and walked into my bedroom and went to bed.
Wait, did you say Deadlands or Dadlands? Because that is very different games.
Deadlands. Anyway,
Okay,
back to it. Yeah, Frederick Small's gone. You've got a cat, and it's the middle of the night. But you do know where you're going.
He's maybe he's like creeping around if he can teleport.
Well, he shouldn't come near me anytime soon.
Like try to shine the light in the thing, but it's off because I'm not in it.
Are we in any condition to just power through the night? I mean, I like to go back to bed sometime soon.
You could climb a tree.
says the tree person.
Do we all just
Because at the end
climb
of
her?
the day, she can go into one.
Some of you are very small. You could climb her.
Mhm, we're all small.
I'm
Um,
not gonna be out of-
Partially is just gonna be like, give me one moment, and kind of just go towards the forest, and she's gonna try and see if she can find any like natural burrows or something very close to her um, home back near the lake and such. Maybe if she can like find any small critters similar to her.
Sure. You can go looking around, and easily enough, because you are at the edge of a forest. There's it's a woodland. There are woodland creatures about, and being a rabbit, you know your way around the woodlands pretty well, and you know your way around rabbits quite well because you've been a rabbit for a very, very long time. That is to say, forever, since the beginning of Reverie, as best you can tell. And there you find the telltale signs of rabbits. You could find a warren, like a small warren of rabbits, without any difficulty. They are sleeping. And it's a little bit of a trek. Like you have to kind of follow a little trail. They weren't right there where you were getting into that fight, because that would have woken them up probably. So it's a little bit of a trek, but you can find them.
She tosses like kindness and just doesn't even bother that it's late at night. She's just like,
Hey, hello, wake up, anyone? Hello, we need help.
Wait, shouting in that hole.
It's a nice hole, so just to speak out.
You get
Should I shout in the hole?
you get a voice comes back. Who's there? What's going on?
Oh my God, the hole talks.
It's very late. What are you doing?
My name
I
is
missed the
Parsley.
hole.
partially is just like compose.
My name is Parsley, and me and my friends, we've been attacked by a human, and there's darkness, and the forest is not safe,
And she's a little bit frantic, but she's trying to come across that there's danger, in both wanting to make sure that they are at least aware, and is just frantically trying to figure out, at the very least, trying to find a good area for at least Sparky and Aquilaria to accompany both Junie and her, since size differences seems to be a difficult thing at this moment.
Sure. How about you give me a charm check, target number 5, because this is to prevent this rabbit from becoming full-on panic. Because this rabbit, we're going to call him a he, is a small woodland creature, and if you've paid attention to small woodland creatures, their lives are incredibly nervous and filled with, what's that? What's coming? I gotta be ready to move at moment's notice, like real quick. At any moment, there could be something bad, and they move very quickly from place to place because like it's terrible. And I'm food. Yeah, you just basically said some things that might panic. So let's see if we can keep this rabbit from
What's my
panicking.
target number?
Target number 5.
I'm there, so I can maybe help by like emphasizing her talk.
You can, and the rules with helping is because spirit is kind of part of that. Is like you can, like you tell me what you're doing to kind of aid with that, and then you can spend a spirit that she gets the extra die for.
I'm yes manning everything she says and adding sound effects when appropriate.
Sure. So you're both playing C-3PO, telling the story to the Ewoks with all the. With the TIE fighter and the star, and the Death Star blowing up in the background and everything else as part of the story.
I got 1 success.
Hey, there we go. And a little bunny rabbit head pokes out and looks at you and says, "There's a human? Where? There's a human here. Do we need to leave? Do we need to run? Sorry. Do we need to hop?"
I don't suggest hopping throughout the night. They seem to have some sort of magical power and such. Please disclose that information to everyone that you know, if possible. But my friends and I are trying to help make sure that none of these bad things happen. And if you can at least kind of point us in the direction for a good place for big 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 trees and this guy.
We'll kind of point to Sparky a little hesitantly, since I don't know. She doesn't know if this rabbit has seen a nymph before.
It's like if you leave in the morning, it should be good. Just move inward to the greenery, but and we wanna make sure this place doesn't go away. So any help can be good.
As you're talking, just like a bit of a look of realization comes over this rabbit's face as he realizes, he thinks he knows who he's talking to. May not know you as this incarnation, but these animals know that paragons exist. For viewers, a paragon is like partially is a unique rabbit, partially is like the guardian, the eternal guardian of the rabbit kind, and has lived many, many lives. So he just immediately, let's see, how big? Looks at Sparky, eyes wide, like boom, like comically wide. All right. Who's the other person? There's someone else. They're big like them.
Kind of just motions towards Aqualaria and motions towards any nearby trees, like comparison.
Not me. Not me. Don't worry about me. I'm good. She's like,
right, sure. Come with me. I'm Bumpy, by the way.
Okay, Ginny, come on. Leave the cat.
Oh, are we going in the hole?
No. He hops
okay.
out. He hops out of the warren and leads and starts leading you. Not terribly far.
Huda, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
You know, you're very smart and you have a lot of really great ideas, but are we? So you know how back home, like I never wanted to come over, and I was always like, let's go play in the forest. I don't like small spaces.
We're not gonna be going down any small places, are we, Buffy?
She's just lost in there. She's like,
Bumpy.
split attention, Buffy. She's like,
Yeah, right?
No, it's not a burrow, not a hole. Just you'll see when we get there.
Well,
And he hops.
Keston, my kind hasn't really done anything bad to warrant mistrust, I hope.
It's not you. It's, you know, I have wings and I fly and I like being out and about in the world and being in little dark spaces. I don't really like the idea.
Hey, how about it looked like you really liked it when I became a nightlight. So if needed, I can be your nightlight. And I think it's better if we go that way instead of
kind of just looking at the cat and then looking at the unknown space of wherever Frederick went.
And it's like, I don't think we're safe out here, and I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want the same thing that happened to Sanders to happen to any of us.
Okay.
If it gets too crowded, if it's too much, we'll think of another plan. We just need to at least get out of here.
Okay.
I gotta say this, you're her nightlight in shining armor.
I
Whoa!
know. Literally, Junie's two fears are small spaces in the dark.
I Warren, that's
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, Warren is like.
Bumpy leads you to a very large tree, and it's kind of on a little bit of a hillock, and some of the hillock has eroded away just loose soil has just kind of eroded out. And so, I don't know if any of you ever seen this. It was one of the coolest things I saw, like out in the forest once when I was a kid, which is you've got this tree and it's got the root system that it's kind of sitting up on its root system. And part of it is kind of still buried in earth. And so it's like a little cave, like under the roots, under the base of the tree, but it's not small and tight. It's kind of still relatively open, and the roots kind of create almost like bars so that there's space to get through and light can get in and out and everything. But it's a little more protected. It's not out in the open. And he leads you to that tree with the kind of that opening underneath part of its roots.
Oh, this
Danny,
is
is this
clever.
okay? Is this okay? We can find bigger, maybe.
It should be fine.
Okay. I don't know what we do from here.
Well,
I don't know how we're gonna get Aqualaria in here. That's gonna be a little tricky.
we can assume that everybody kind of, unless you have something planned, we can assume that everybody just kind of beds down rest of the evening. Aqualaria, it sounded like wasn't concerned about getting into
I
a.
have the ability to step into trees.
There you go. She can hide right inside that tree.
Oh.
I can merge myself into the tree.
I have two ways to get in this thing. One is to go in the lamp and have the gang drag me into the place, and the other is to just turn into a pixie myself. Yeah, they both work.
Okay, so you were able to hunker down either under the tree amongst the roots or literally inside of the tree and find safety for the night. Bumpy stays with you, and you realize that as you all sort of bed down and get ready to get some sleep, that Bumpy has no intention of letting you, Parsley, go unguarded.
Parsley is a little perplexed with that as she's like falling to sleep. She finds herself a little confused, still not truly understanding. Kind of poking at Bumpy, of just like,
Hey, maybe you should sleep for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I can
Should
sleep.
I?
I can sleep later. There's all sorts of bad things happening, and Reverie's going to need you. I can't do a lot because I have to take care of my family. I can't run around and do the types of things that you do, but I can do this.
Okay. Just don't do anything stupid.
and she just drifts asleep.
And Bumpy takes watch and keeps an eye on all of you overnight. And then he murders you all. I'm kidding. No, he doesn't. He doesn't do any of that.
Again.
No,
The more
Just joking, someone.
why?
This is just a custom here.
the more
Is Bernie still with us?
we didn't really like that would have freaked Bumpy out, but yeah, he would have listened to you. We kind of
Okay.
didn't cover that. But sure. Yeah, Bernie's with you. The flying your lava eel, flying lava eel.
That's what we do.
But you know, Bumpy will listen to Parsley and trust Parsley. So the next morning arrives. The sun starts to come up, and Bumpy is looking out at the forest. And as you kind of get up, he looks to Parsley with this very worried bunny look on his face and says, "It's here."
What is?
And the group of you looks out and you see that this forest has begun to exhibit signs of what that forest looked like where that unicorn was. Or, well, I guess, Aqualaria, you recognize this more specifically. But all of you see that the vegetation has begun to lose leaves, like they've curled up, and some of them have curled up and fallen off. And some of the trees and the plants are going gray and ashen. And there's a stillness in the air. There's just like this slight scent of like everything's. Normally a forest smells like a forest. You know what greenery smells like, what plant life smells like. That isn't so present anymore. It smells like dirt. Everything smells like dirt. Partially, you are particularly cognizant of this. And I would say Aquilaria as well, with just your ties to the natural world. Like this is soil that is turning foul.
Well, that's not good.
And Aquilaria, this, like what you're seeing here, looks very much like what you saw where the unicorn was.
Yeah. We need to move quickly.
And you should get your family out of here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't want to see you or anyone else to get swept up in this.
Bumpy says, "It was a great honor to help you. I hope wherever you are going, whatever you're doing, I hope you are safe. Be safe, please be safe. But I have to get my family. I think we need to go south. I think we need to go."
Yeah, go as far south as possible.
And he hops off.
I have a mechanic question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a condition. What does it ever clear?
It doesn't clear for like rest at night or anything like that.
Okay.
There are talents that allow you to remove conditions.
Yeah, which I did not take.
And that's okay. You can spend time fixing the condition, whether that be like, patching up a wound or, dealing with being hurt, or otherwise calming yourself and kind of working getting yourself less worked up emotionally. You spend 2 skill to do it, and you can only ever do that once for each of your 2 tracks. Otherwise beyond that, you have to eat the conditions. You have to.
Yep.
Like it's written in the rule book. Sometimes heroes have to fight the good fight through pain or fear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a condition where you don't yet have a modifier, it's
negative.
It's just the first check. Then it's really more of a role playing thing. Like you're
Okay.
a little injured or a little skittish about things.
Okay.
So, Aquilaria, you get the sense of the unicorn again because you are able to find the kind of the location, or not the unicorn, but the location of where the unicorn was. And you know it's in this forest. It's deeper in this forest.
Okay.
The place that you were looking initially is here.
We need to move quickly. Would be good.
Right, but where? I got all turned around in the forest at night, and then we dug into this thing. Is it this way?
It's that way.
Son of a... All right.
I don't know if that worked out on the screen as being opposite, but it would have been.
Yeah.
I have no idea our position.
Everybody understands. So, all right, you head off that direction. As that sounds like.
Yep.
You can scavenge a little if you've got a little food with you, or you can scavenge a little bit. You're still, the forest is getting icky, but it's still.
I have berries.
It still has a bounty. You have berries. Hallucinations for everybody.
Well, we are going to see a unicorn after all.
I'll help you see a unicorn. Hey, check out what I got.
You start making your way deeper into the forest. Go ahead.
We all
Sorry.
move at a decent clip. Rabbits are not slow. Junie has wings. I don't really actually know if Sparky moves along quickly or if he's kind of more of a regular speed type person. But being the
I think
tallest,
he'd be quicker than a human.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like the group moves at a pretty good clip, and you can.
Are we
You can hurry.
quicker than a cat robot?
We're gonna find out.
Oh no! Does the cat follow us? Because that would be awesome.
You don't see the cat right now.
Okay, good. The robot thing is left us alone. That's good. Maybe it went back to the human.
Let's book it.
And you begin to make your way into the forest. As you walk, that smell of dirt and the lessened smell of vegetation and plant life and healthy There's the forest often has a bit of a kind of a moist and a wet smell to it as well. Healthy smell to it that starts to dissipate even more and more as you go. Partially, you notice at first where you now start to taste that in the air, where it becomes so pronounced that it tastes wrong. Just every time you take a breath, there's a little bit of, this is just not a good place. And as you walk along, the trees are grayer and more ashen. More and more of them are devoid of leaves. You start crunching through the dead, curled up, dried leaves. Those of you who are on the ground, it's difficult to not make noise as you walk. And the air is still and hollow, and it seems you don't hear an echo of your crunching through, but it feels like that sound is really traveling far. Can
you imagine if we still had that giant cat with us? It would make so much noise.
And you don't hear the cat. You don't hear anything following. You don't hear any other crunching, and you're walking along. And then you see something very, very odd. One of the trees, that is completely gray and ashen, a portion of the bark of its trunk is not gray and ashen. In fact, does not have the texture of bark. It's not rough. It doesn't have that directionality that bark does. It is smooth. It is glass smooth, and it is reflective. It is like a mirror. And as you walk by, you catch a glimpse of your own reflection. Those of you who are tall, because it's a bit up the tree, you catch a glimpse of your reflection in the mirror that seems to be part of this tree. As you walk along, you start to see more and more of these pieces of glass, pieces of mirror in trees. And as you walk along, more trees have more of their bark that has transmuted to glass, to mirror, to be reflective. And now, as you're walking, there's the lack of vegetation smell. There's the heavy dirt smell. It's in your nose. It's in your mouth. And what once was just, as you're walking, you're seeing your compatriots walking with you. Now you're catching constant little flickers of motion as you pass trees, and your own reflection and your friends' reflections are in them. So even though you don't hear anybody else crunching through the leaves, it feels like you're being followed and watched. There's constant motion. And I would imagine the smaller you are, for you to make the decision, but potentially the smaller you are, the more unsettling this is, because you've lived a life where, there are a lot of things that are bigger than you, and you have to be careful. And so, catching a glimpse of something dangerous out of the corner of your eye has at times been very helpful. But now you're catching that glimpse out of the corner of your eye all the time, and so that feeling starts to seep into your belly. And I'm going to have each of you make a heart check. Target number 5.
I am chock full of spirit.
And when you do this, just because I want everybody to go, oh no, say when you tell me whether you succeeded or not, pick one of your fears and say it out loud.
I'm gonna spend a spirit for an extra days.
Good number?
Target number 5.
I have 2 successes. I'm scared of suffocating.
I have one success, and I have a fear of falling.
I have 1 success and I have a fear of storms.
I have 1 success, and I am afraid of small spaces.
Okay, so everybody was successful. Mark the appropriate spirit or shadow. And as you were walking along, the trees are closer and closer together, and everything seems to feel tighter around you. And you're not enclosed in a space, but you feel constricted. You feel there's just not as much room to move. Everything's closer together. Their branches are weaving amongst them, amongst each other, creating spots where you kind of have to slither sideways through openings and make your way around clumps of trees. Let's see what else do we have? We had that's enclosed spaces. What was storms? Oh yeah, there's a storm. The clouds coalesce overhead. The sky grows dark. The whole place grows dark. There's no rain, but there is the occasional crack of lightning and just the low rumble of thunder, just that lightning that's kind of in this cloud that just lights the cloud up for a second. No strike, no lightning, reaches down to touch the ground, but there's a little bit of a crack of lightning and a little bit of flicker of light. Sparky, what was the fear?
Suffocating.
The air starts to not feel nourishing enough. It feels like you have to breathe faster in order to get everything you need in order to be able to continue on. Your limbs start to feel heavier as you're walking along. You start to feel that if you were put in a position to have to suddenly exert yourself now, that you would have a hard time and you would find yourself gasping for air. And who am I missing? Junie, what was? No, you were covered.
Me falling.
Falling. The seeming lack of oxygen, the seeming lack of nourishing air starts to make you lightheaded, and so every so often each of you has a moment of vertigo, a moment of dizziness that kind of passes over you, and you have to stop and grab one of those trees and steady yourself. Those of you lower to the ground just have to stop, get on all fours, and just make sure that the ground is underneath you as you momentarily feel that you're about to fall. And all of this continues, and it starts to manifest itself. Each of you feels deep down that the forest is reacting specifically to you as you feel each of these, as you see each of these things happen, as you start to feel these different things. Up ahead, you catch just a glimpse of something that is not a reflection. There's a pool, a mire, a dark, fetid pool of muck. And in that muck, submerged almost submerged to the shoulder, to the top, to the neck, is a horse, a white horse. And on its forehead is a nub of bone that sticks out about this far, and its head is upright but kind of tilted forward as if it's unmoving.
This has been such a hard journey, and I thought we'd finally found the unicorn, but it's just a horse. Dang it.
Is it a nub like something's been cut off?
It looks like if this is a unicorn, its horn has been broken off.
Is a unicorn still a unicorn without a horn? Oh my god!
Yes.
In Aqualaria, this looks like the unicorn you saw.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the horse out of the swamp.
First things first is to get it out. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my fantasy god, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna pull it or something.
I still have the ability to make a tree do tree-like things. So I assume there are still trees around this pool, possibly close enough for either root systems to reach out or branches to reach out.
There's a tree. There's one tree that's close enough that has expansive enough branches. This tree is probably 70% mirror.
Ooh.
I can make it little.
But the swamp?
No, the unicorn.
That's a horse. Unicorns have one of these on their heads.
Okay, Sparky.
It's still a unicorn regardless without the thing.
Yeah.
And what's a horse?
Excuse me, Mr. Sir Unicorn, ma'am, can you hear us?
It doesn't respond.
Horses don't talk. Come on now, everybody knows that.
She's a talking rabbit.
But she's like special. Right, Parsley? You're special, right? That's why you can talk?
She's like shoving parsley in her mouth. It's like she needs her own comfort.
Stress eating.
Yep.
Right. Okay, I'm just gonna break off a bit of this here tree. Also, I'm really sick of this stupid mirror. And I'll just smash I'll attempt to smash like the mirror bit of the tree.
Okay, you smash the mirror bit of the tree. Give me a heart check, target number 6.
I have failed.
Mark a shadow.
Curses.
Not a skill.
Dark
Mark a
side.
shadow.
Can I, should I see if it's breathing?
It does.
I'm
You've
getting
been
a
watching.
break.
You've been watching it for a
Break.
little bit. It does not appear to be breathing. You would think that
Oh,
if it
God.
was, you would see like even just a slight ripple in the pool, in the muck. You know, there would be like a little bit of a swell.
Junie is gonna find a short stick and slowly, like from up high, just like
You'll poke it with the stick.
poke it.
You poke the
Dead
dehorned,
unicorn.
They're like,
the dehorned muck living, unmoving, unbreathing unicorn, and it does not respond.
How's that gonna help? You need a big stick here, like this.
You poke at it with a big stick, and
Oh
you
man,
kind
I
of
want to get it under the horse, but
like a lever.
I'm just not good with this
It's gonna
stick.
rank. You poke at it in the muck, and it kind of, you get it to kind of sway. You know, like it moves a little bit, like it's the muck gives and you know kind of swells and ripples a little bit. It's thicker than water, but it's not like tar. It's you know there's some viscosity to it, and you're able to make the horse move.
Well, that's good. All right, I'm just gonna get this stick under it so it don't sink. That's plan 1.
Should we, I mean,
You wedge the stick in, and in doing so, discover that the bottom of the pool isn't terribly far down. If you would guess that this horse is down, like basically on its haunches, and that its body might actually be kind of 90 degrees or some angle underneath it. That it's kind of, but it's in the muck, so the pool itself is only a few feet deep.
No, it's not that deep at all. If it just stands up, it can just walk out. Come on, little horsey. Get up on your feet. Let's go. Come on.
if we like tie something around it, I can make it little and it'll be easier to pull out.
Yeah, we'll do it. Does anyone have a rope or like a chain that's longer than this one?
I can produce vines or root.
That's almost a rope. That'll do.
I can, using my lovely vine power, coax a
Divine
tree
power.
to bring the root system, a piece of their root system up to the surface so I can break it off.
Okay, sure. You use your talent and draw forth some roots from to get a root come up. The roots come up. They're ashen and gray, but the roots themselves are not mirrored like the branches and the trunks get.
Yeah.
So you've got this length of root now that's up above ground. It's a pretty good length. Like you could conceivably loop it around something, and it's
Right.
close enough to the horse to be able to
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
On a count of three,
Count of three, what?
I'll make it little, and then Aqualaria can pull it out.
Oh, okay.
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 1, 2, 3, and I'll use my talent to make it little like me.
Oh my God, it's a little horse. It's so cute.
You make the horse little, and you've between the root and the stick underneath it and everything, you keep it from just immediately going whoop down into the pool.
Yes, that's what I wanted to prevent.
That was cool.
But you've taken precautions to avoid that, and you're getting the it's now pixie sized. That is to say, it's not like as tall as a pixie. It's still taller than a pixie. Like a pixie could ride it at this point. It's that size.
It's not a full size horse.
But
That's
right. And you are able to between the group of you, between the tools you have at hand, get the horse up out of the muck, and do save the horse from drowning in the swamp.
I'm gonna name it Little Sebastian. I'm gonna clean it.
Parsley, is it breathing?
It is.
Yes,
it is.
I'm the medical expert here.
It's not breathing, but now that you've got it up out and you can kind of examine it and get a little closer, you realize that it is warm. It is not, like something. If it was dead, it would be cold or at least somewhat cool to the touch. It is warm. It feels like a living being, but it is not breathing.
Do we have? Are there any stories about like unicorns losing their horns? Do we have glue? Do we have to glue it back on?
Is that where horses come from?
Well, I mean, when a mommy horse and a daddy horse love each other
I
very
do have nature and magic knowledge, so I might possess some form of information about unicorns.
I think we should get this muck off of it first.
Yeah.
Because, it's a little shadowy, and I don't know if you've noticed, but getting in touch with void stuff that makes you, it's not good. So,
Yeah, so maybe it's not. Maybe this guy's not dead, just affected in some way.
what if it lost its horn in that
Does
pool
it-
of muck? That's not
Did
gonna be
it
good.
drink anything? Should we look at its mouth?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna open this mouth. I mean, there's a tongue
It
in there.
appears to be making a sound into a microphone that I can't yet hear.
What's that thing at the back of its throat? Like a punching bag? Is that normal? Should that be there?
I feel like if you touch it, we're gonna make situations a lot worse. Wait, actually, maybe we can wake him up by throwing up. Shove a berry in there.
Oh.
I don't know how to wake up non-dead people.
You start to hear the crunching of footsteps and someone whistling.
That wasn't me. Not this time.
Dad?
Parsley is on the offensive defense. It's like, who's next?
Waiting for the
And then the whistling stops.
Is it a human?
And the walking, the crunching stops.
Hello? Are you a human? If you are, you have to tell us. That's the rule.
Yeah.
If Parsley could facepalm, she would.
And
Do you need human hands again?
No.
you're all standing where you are, and you've got these reflections of yourselves, right, where you know where they are and everything, and all of a sudden there's motion, there's quick motion in a number of different places. It's the funhouse effect of like someone is moving, and you're catching glimpses of them in this mirror and that mirror, and they're moving, and you hear crunch, 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 and there's
Oh
sounds
God, there's billions of them.
feel like the sound feels like it's all around you.
I got nothing.
You can't have my little Sebastian, friend. I just got him.
And I need a mind check, target number 5 out of all of you. This is basically
A mind check.
This
You're
is for
trying to
senses.
TPK us?
Yeah, this is for senses. This is mind. Mind does include your character's senses.
I
So
will
to-
use a spirit because I have a mind of 1.
Failure.
3 success.
What was the
That's,
target?
5.
5. Then I got 1 success.
Yeah, that's my first fail of this entire game.
How was Sparky?
Oh, I failed.
Okay, so Junie and Sparky don't see this coming. The other two see a brownie. You know what a brownie looks like. A little, 2.5, 3 foot tall person, kind of thin, wearing very simple clothes. They're soil spirits, and they have a penchant for. They make bargains and they do little chores for people. Like they do have that reputation of being actually generally, as a people, they tend to be helpful. This particular brownie is, as he kind of comes around from behind a tree, one of these mirrored trees, he is. At first, you think he's dusting himself off. Because there's like a little cloud of dust and dirt and things he's but then you realize that he's not like taking the actions that it would take to kind of dust himself off. There's just dust and dirt that's falling off of him, and it's just constantly falling off of him, and the soil and the dirt that's falling off of him, it's like his skin is peeling off and becoming dirt and dust and falling off of him, and it's just trailing behind him as he's walking. His eye sockets are hollow. There is nothing there. And he walks up with a grin, and he touches one of these mirrored trees, and it disintegrates to ash. And just... so basically, because it's a mirror, it's glitter.
Backpedal.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's sparkly.
and it's everywhere.
Because it's glitter.
You're not gonna do that to Aqualaria, are you?
Backpedal.
Are you a friend?
You.
Yeah, partially kind of just as they talk and ask questions. Partially, as much as she's a rabbit, she's just gonna put herself as the guard dog, or guard rabbit, I should say.
How'd you make that so little? How'd you make the unicorn so little? What did you do? What magic is that? What did you do? He's looking at all of you.
Why you care so much about the unicorn, huh?
Can you teach
Although
me
it's
that
a
trick?
horse now. Look, the horn's gone. Did you happen to see the horn anywhere? Little Sebastian lost his horn.
I might have.
Oh, it's a unicorn.
Oh,
It's a horse for all we know.
see?
Or a
But look,
dog.
He said
Well-
he found little Sebastian's horse. Horn. So many different words.
How about you said you might know you may have seen the horn, huh?
I might have seen it. Why? What do you have to trade? I can tell you.
You tell me where the horn is, and I'll tell you how we made him small.
I could give you a giant cat.
That's useful, but a unicorn's horn is very powerful. I think you need to offer me more than that. And he just kind of does a little dance and a turn, and he starts to walk over toward another tree. And he's reaching out his hand.
Ugh, I
And
remember. I don't
he
like
leans
that
against it,
face.
but he doesn't disintegrate it, and he just kind of taps his fingers against the side of the tree. I could go for some Hassenpfeffer. And he looks at Parsley, and he just
The
kind
heck
of
is that?
he does whatever the reverie term is for rabbit meat, and he does this exaggerated, like licking his lips and smacking
You know,
his
I
tongue
don't think
against
this
his
guy's a
palate.
friend.
Okay,
I vote
yeah,
we kill him.
really don't like him.
Can you give us just a moment, good sir? Seems like you have valuable information, and I'm on the dinner menu, so we just need to work things out. As she
begins to just pull out her bag full of parsley, mint, just all of the arrangement and etc.
And if things go well, you can have the helpings and such, and etc. We just need to discuss things and just need to make sure we got all the spices in order.
Yeah, shouldn't we bargain over a meal?
We could. What do you have? Let's see. Let's sit. Come. He comes over and he sits down and he just like pops his leg, crosses his legs down, pops onto his butt, lands right next to, within a few feet of you, not too far away, and just
Junie is gonna keep her body in between the brownie and the unicorn.
I have some berries. Do you like berries?
Depends.
They're very special berries.
You should eat the berries. They're good. They're way
Have
better
you
than bunny.
ever tasted a rainbow?
But before you do, do you happen to be a veterinarian? Because we are in need of one, and I figured before you get all.
Oh yes. The unicorn's not moving because its soul is gone. So these berries,
Yeah.
are they those berries? A rainbow, really?
We wouldn't
I
know.
mean, they're very special. Picked fresh, guaranteed good time.
All right, let's see them.
I,
Berries are good. Berries are a good start to trade. They're a beginning. What else do you have? What do you have that's truly, truly valuable? And now he's focusing on Junie. He catches your eyes and you find yourself just briefly locking eyes with him and he looks into you. What is Junie's most precious memory? What is the thing that is most important to her from her past?
probably the day she met Parsley. I imagine, Junie is kind-hearted, but she likes to get into trouble. And probably wasn't very popular with the pixies her age and spent a lot of time by herself. And got lost one day. And when she was feeling sort of helpless, Parsley appeared and offered her a snack and helped her find her way home. And Junie just sort of clung to her after that. And she has always seen Parsley as Junie knows she makes some questionable choices, but as long as Parsley is still her friend, she's doing okay. And so that moment sort of changed her.
He looks into you. You feel like someone is rooting around in your mind, looking through your most precious memories, looking through the things that make you you. And I need you to make a target number 5 heart check as I quickly double check the rules text. Because
I'm gonna use a spirit.
While I got you talking.
I'm gonna use a spirit to give myself. How many spirit can I use at once?
Just the one.
One. Oh God. Ah!
Now, before you make the check, you're going to do this at disadvantage because you're experiencing your fear right now.
Okay, so take my. Okay, so I lose.
But your spirit gets you
Give
kind of
myself.
evens that back off.
Okay. Dear dice gods.
Please be kind.
Target number 5.
One success.
As the brownie attempts to use a corruption called Locked Mind, you don't lose memory of your friendship with Parsley. But at this moment, you forget the specifics of the moment you met. Just that bit. Like, you know you met her, you know it was important, you remember all of the things that have come along with your friendship. But like that very first moment, like when you first saw Parsley, just clouds over inside your mind as you make the check. For the record, for people who are following along at home, a lot of times the characters' corruptions are like talents that, like, you spend the shadow and the thing just happens. Sometimes it gives you a bonus on other things, but sometimes it's just an effect that happens. Because you are the heroes, you always get resistance checks. You get ways, the opportunity to resist that from happening. And that was a brownie's corruption that steals something from your mind. He says, close. Not quite. And you realize that he just tried to steal your memories. You feel that. And then he looks to Parsley.
No!
Parsley is as much as, like, with the heavy tension, she would either be on the defense or cowering. She seems to, with the original thought the brownie presented, she's still like laying out like whatever greenery she had, as if presenting herself as the meal, not seeming to back down about it. And eventually when she meets the gaze of the brownie, she's like,
Hello? I'm still trying to prep myself.
Can Junie like throw herself in front of Parsley?
Sure, you can.
Junie is gonna like throw herself in front of Parsley and look at the brownie and say, "Don't you dare hurt my friends!"
And he says, no fair. You won your game. It's time for her to play.
We don't want to play with you.
Meanwhile, let's cover real quick here. What are Sparky and Aqualaria doing?
From the moment that he said that little Sebastian's soul is gone, I've been looking around for it, and I'm like, first like basic around, and then I'm like, it's gotta be in the pool. So I'm like taking the stick and I'm gonna poke at the bottom to see if I can't like fish it out.
Aguilera is watching this whole exchange, and the moment that Junie reacts in a negative manner, she would probably act.
Junie also wants to try to use her own corruption move against it.
Okay.
What she could do.
I'm gonna fight fire with fire.
Okay. Well, who goes first?
Junie was already in action and moving, and Aguilera would have reacted to the reaction, so Junie should go first.
Okay, so Junie goes.
I go last because I have no idea what's going on.
Sparky's just not paying attention. He's like,
Poking at the pool.
look, fishing for a soul, fishing for a soul.
I have the corruption move, See My Soul. Make one creature grow fearful and run away.
Okay.
I don't know how well it'll work on him, but
well, what do you have to do to make it happen?
it just said mark one shadow.
You mark one shadow, and you make one creature fearful and run away. The brownie leaps to its feet, hisses at you. Fine. Not fair. You don't play fair. You'll get yours. You will get yours. You will get yours. And he looks at Parsley and says, and I will have you. And he starts to, he doesn't run like turn tail and bolt, but he starts to back away very, very, very quickly. He's like
Yeah, that's right.
quickly as his legs can take him. And Equilaria,
Come at me, bro.
Equilaria, how do you react?
Oh, I'm stalking at him, but not fast enough to actually catch up to him.
So you're walking him out.
Yep. Doing the puff chest. Get out of my face, dude.
As he continues to move away quickly, and you keep up with him, but like basically you're keeping up with him, but not overtaking him.
Right.
Is
exactly.
the plan? Okay.
Yeah.
He backs away. He gets a good distance away from the group of you, and you kind of walk along and walk him out of sight of them, or at least as much as possible.
Kind of edge of clearing situation.
Yeah, and I need you to make a heart check, target number 5, as he looks into your eyes. No! And tell me before you make that check. Well, okay. What's your character's most cherished memory?
I can give you that too. So cherished memory, because I was thinking about it.
I hope everybody was thinking about it.
For Aguilera, I think it would be because she is, she's basically in line to take over as like one of the people who records the history of the world of Reverie. She would have had to go through stages of training, and she's probably somewhere in the middle of that process.
Sure.
But like any form of schooling, there's always, landmarks and important moments. And so I would say that her greatest memory is probably reaching one of those milestones, possibly the most recent one, like a high school graduation kind of situation.
Sure.
And her family being very proud of her.
Like a moment of recognition for the path that you were about to go on, which is a storied and revered path amongst your people.
Right, exactly. And I got 2.
And you got what?
2 successes.
You got 2 successes, so you can mark a shadow. And you don't lose the memory of that whole moment. Like, you remember achieving it. You remember people being very proud for you and happy for you. You remember your parents were proud of you, but you can't see the moment of where they smiled at you when you achieved that. Like that just fogs and clouds over and disappears from your memory. And
also that fills up my shadow bar. Just for the record.
Hooray! Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break as the brownie leaves after getting a couple of minor memories from you. And you've got a unicorn without a miniature unicorn without a horn and without a soul. And Sparky is currently fishing for said soul in the mire.
All I found was this boat.
and a shopping cart.
And a license plate. And Aquilaria, Allie, you need to take a moment and figure out, erase your shadow track and pick a corruption for your character. And we will take a short break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes or so. And we return.
Oh boy.
Allie,
Yes.
have we decided what corruption? You don't have to tell us, because you can surprise us all if and when you use it. But have you decided what corruption?
Yes, I have made a decision.
Aqualaria is going to take.
It is.
I am aware of what it's going to be, and
Oh, dude. I'm gonna hold on to that one, and then it's gonna be awesome.
And a note to everybody too. There, like I threw the question out there: what intelligent creature comes to visit? The suggestion was a gnome, and I went with Brownie because that's kind of what I had in the. That's one of the folk that's available to play that's close to a gnome, because in my envisioning of the world of Reverie, there are no dwarves, elves, gnomes, halflings. I decided to do all sorts of other folk. That's not to say that if you play the game, you can't have like gnomes and elves and all that sort of thing. So I went with something that was close to a gnome, and then decided it was corrupted, and then just looked at its corruptions and said, "Ooh, what's fun?"
What can we play with today?
So I had no plans for that character up beforehand. So Paladin Hulk, thanks for saying gnome and making me steal memories from people. It's all your fault. Back to the game.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
So
Missing a
Sparky all along.
Yeah.
The brownie, the corrupted brownie has left, and Aqualaria comes back. You've got the unicorn, the shrunken down, hornless, soulless unicorn is out of the muck. Sparky is searching the muck, and back to the group of you.
I assume that Aguileria's leaf hair has turned from green to at least partially brown.
Yeah, when Aqualaria comes back, everybody notices this. At least some of her leaves are looking like the leaves of these trees around here, where some of them have started to curl up and lose their green and turn brown, and a few have fallen off.
Junie stands there almost like panting for a moment. And then she's going to like throw herself at Parsley and hug Parsley and say, "He tried to take you away from me.
But I'm right here.
But in my head."
I'm right here. It's okay. It's okay. I'm right here. Not like I'm gonna go anywhere. Except like over here.
And she kind of takes like 2 steps to the side, just like
Junie just clings.
And Aqualaria returns to Sparky searching through the muck, and her 2 other compatriots who are like embracing, and Junie is crying or almost crying or
Probably.
just very sad. And all of you see Aqualaria return with her changed appearance.
Yeah, we're all okay.
you look. You feeling okay, Aqualaria? You look a little,
Down.
Didn't you used to be green?
It's fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, this is normal. You like adapt to whatever forest you're in.
Just we need to find the unicorn horn. Wherever.
If you're in a forest with like snow on the trees, do you get snow on your trees?
Sparky,
What?
you can't just ask people that. It's rude.
I mean, I guess. All right, fine.
I love that.
I didn't find little Sebastian's soul in the pond thing, so I don't think it's in there.
I don't think it
He
is
was
either.
lead, but he was kind of mean.
I mean,
He
that
was
sounded like it was
evil.
the truth. Yeah, we're meeting a lot
don't
of bad
trust him.
people lately.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on. We got Rabbit, a Pixie, you, Sparky,
Hi.
Aqualaria, and this big vast of black.
Maybe, the unicorn would want to be reattached to it, so right?
One would think.
Maybe
Like a magnet?
like you know that game where you say like hot and cold to let people know they're getting close. Maybe,
Hot and cold.
yeah, maybe if we pick up the unicorn, it'll get warmer the closer we get to its horn.
Oh, a soul detector. Okay.
You know, that might work.
We're inventing
I'm
music.
gonna,
Lack of
I'm
any
gonna grab
better
little
idea.
Sebastian.
Why not?
Use it like
Well,
dowsing rod.
So yeah,
I'm gonna hop around the pool.
turning
Yeah, not
turning
yet.
turning the miniature unicorn into a horsing rod.
Yes.
Marco!
So we have two characters who are large enough to reasonably carry the horse around, the miniature horse.
Would
How big is he?
turn it?
He's the size that a pixie could ride, and a pixie's about a foot tall. So
Yeah.
he's a little he's taller. You know, he's taller than a foot at the top.
He's
of his
like a
head.
dropkick dog. Does anybody else call them those? Where I come from.
He's
Wow,
a
okay.
mid-size. He's the size of a mid-sized dog. Not a real big dog.
We have
but
two little hints of you not being nice to animals right now. So how about we keep it at 2? Okay.
Okay.
Junie, the only animals that Junie likes are rabbits.
Yes.
And we
Don't
that
tell my
does
cat.
balance it out a little. Okay.
So yeah, I
have
mean,
a second.
Sparky could conceivably carry the miniature horse, the miniature unicorn, and Aqualaria certainly could. And
Yeah,
you're
I
at
wanna
the,
carry
you're
this
at the,
back.
you're at the point Aqualaria where you're not sensing a direction to anything anymore. Like you're in the forest that you were looking at, so you're not feeling that pull anymore.
Yeah. No, I will pick up the horse as the largest creature in this group. I will.
My
have-
little Sebastian. I'll jump for him.
And you pick up the unicorn and kind of hold it and start to kind of look around and turn around. Point
Simba
the
Yeah,
point the
basically,
unicorn
I'm
point
holding-
the head of the unicorn, the stub of the horn
Yep.
in
Kind of
different
holding it
directions,
like
kind of
a little baby, but with the legs hanging
like
down.
like it's a tricorder, like you're scanning the area.
Yep. They're just slowly turning around in a circle.
And you feel like when when you point it in that direction, it starts to breathe.
Okay, we'll head that direction. This way, guys. We will.
Just like to point out that 3/4 of our party identify with the feminine gender, and maybe we should not use guys.
Apologies, everybody. I purposely decided to develop the game using the term folk too instead of races. So I'm trying to use folks. I should use folks more.
Judy's just being picky because
No,
she
that's fair. That's
like
fair.
not being the hero.
Okay, everybody.
And I personally use both guys and dude indiscriminately of gender, race, whether or not you're an animate object. I mean, it doesn't matter. Those are just kind of those interchangeable words for me personally. So yeah.
We'll all make an effort. So off we go, right? Where we've got a breathing. Now the horse is like, the chest is going in and out whenever it's pointed in the correct direction. Junie, did you freeze or are you? Oh, you were reading something. I wasn't.
sorry.
You were suddenly very motionless. I was like,
It was very impressive.
we didn't lose Junie, did we?
No, Judy's here.
Okay. And you start making your way even further on into the forest. This forest of mirrors. As you head along, more crunching, more dead leaves. The mirrored tree trunks and branches become more and more prevalent.
I kick a few hills of leaves. I throw some branches.
And in time, that mirror, if you've ever seen very, very old mirrors that have started to kind of speckle, like they've started to age, now you start to see that as you get deeper toward the heart of the forest, where these trees have been transformed for a longer time, and so the mirrors are starting to lose their sheen. They're starting to lose their reflectivity. They're more speckled and mottled, and so for a while, your reflections are a little distorted and pockmarked, and you like for a brief moment you catch a look at yourself, and it almost looks like it's you with sores on your face. And then as you continue to walk, you start to lose the reflection almost entirely. Like you can tell there's a bit of a reflection, there's motion, there's movement, there's a form in that mirror, but you don't really make out yourself or any of your friends in the mirror. And now the trees instead have this smooth glass-like, but with just the slightest bit of a sand speckling to them. Looking very unearthly and very strange. And the storm that has been overhead starts to rain, just ever slightly, just a misting of water that comes down. When the water hits your skin normally, that would be somewhat kind of cool and refreshing. There'd be like a moment like you're all in this dark, dirty kind of place. But the water doesn't feel that way. It feels heavy. Like it starts to almost feel, those of you who are wearing clothes, as your clothing gets wet, it's even heavier than it should be just for having water, just for being waterlogged. And this does start to wash your horsey soul detector off. It starts to get more, you got some of the muck off of it before, but it's getting more and more of it off. As you make your way along, you start to hear the sound of clanking chains, like the sound that chains make when they clank against one another, not when they like drag across a floor or something like that, but just the chink, chink, chink.
So, would that be a material that is common to us?
Not terribly. There are some of the folk of Reverie make metal things. Like the only if you've okay, so you hear what the sound, like each of you hears the sound, like you personally as a person know what the sound sounds like. Your character may not recognize it unless they've been on a boat. If they've ever been on a seagoing vessel, they've probably heard the sound of those kind of metal links against one another. The rest of you, it might sound a little bit like if your character grew up in a place where you had any sort of metal utensils where the utensils were hit against one another. That's that same sort of metallic thud. It's reminiscent of that. But like chains are not terribly common. But they're used with ship's anchors, and occasionally with for like drawbridges at if you've ever seen a very large castle, you've seen a chain. You've perhaps seen a chain that's used to pull up a drawbridge. But
I'm
like
wearing one.
People who do that, you're wearing one. But that type of metalwork is that's like highly specialized skill. There's not a great many smiths who work with that kind of metal. But you start to hear that kind of multiple chain chunk 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 sound, and then
I wonder if there's more imps.
And then
I'll run ahead.
You run ahead, excellent. And then a howl of
I'll turn back around.
By people. Wait, no.
Just kidding.
A howl of, it sounds, the howl is like half the howl of wind and half the howl of some animal, some bellowing beast.
Why can we never find nice people?
Like a cat, maybe?
And you start to get closer. You start to catch glimpses of this, and you see up ahead there is a circle of standing stones of great a dozen stones set in a circle, very tall, thin, taller than Aqualaria. There's nothing. You've seen nothing around here like rock formations like this. These stones were brought here, likely, or they were magically formed in some way. In the midst of the standing stones, there is a vapor, a black whirl of gas, of smoke that shifts and writhes, and every so often you see it coalesce into the silhouette of the upper half of a horse with a horn.
I would like to figure out what it is based on void knowledge, because I have that and I've never used it.
Hooray! Sure, make a mind check with and having the specialty in void knowledge gives you advantage because that's something you really know. 1 success, mark skill, and that's a soul. That is a soul that has been removed from its body and is being manipulated, perhaps outright corrupted by the void. It's being killed.
There we go. That's the soul. We should probably hurry up and rinse it off a little, because if we put it back like this, that might be bad.
And the wind picks up, and as you look, you see like a few of these standing stones have a chain that is hanging off of it, and the chains are clanking against the stone, and the links themselves are kind of clanking against one another. They're not moving like, if the wind was really, really strong, maybe it would make chains move. So the wind's not strong enough to be doing that, but the chains are sort of moving on their own. As if they were being affected by a wind or an earthquake, or by if the stones were tilting or moving, which they don't appear to be doing, but the chains are moving of their own volition.
I just want to help little Sebastian, so I'm running towards the soul.
So you run toward the soul.
Oh boy.
Give me a body check, target number 5.
2.
You nimbly avoid. You notice that there was a pool of muck, much like Sebastian was in, but that has been covered over with dried up leaves, and so like it was mostly just looked like the floor of the forest with this expanse of these dead, curled up leaves, and just at the moment that you kind of get to it, you realize, oh, that's I should jump. And you jump.
I think it nicks me because I do get shadow from having 2 successes.
Well, the shadow notices you. Here's the thing: you jump it handily. You don't touch it. You can even take a boon, and you can ta-da! You do it very handily. Like you make it look easy, because it is a boon. You're right at right near the edge of this circle of stones. And as you mark, you mark shadow, and
that takes me to 5.
Yeah, at this moment you feel like your soul feels black and smoky and vaporous. Like there's something within you. You feel a darkness that has crept in, and like you recognize that this unicorn soul that you're looking at is struggling to survive, and that you have now joined that struggle. And you can go ahead and erase all of your check marks in that shadow track and select a corruption. You don't have to tell us what it is.
I'm gonna use it though.
Uh-oh. Immediately.
Maybe in a slightly different way.
Unfathomable power.
Than intended. Maybe in a slightly different way.
Okay.
So I can now futz around with souls.
Awesome.
So I'm just gonna yoink it from where it is now, and put him in my lamp, and then take him back to the owner.
Describe
but without the bad stuff.
Describe for me how are you doing this?
I'm just gonna look around it. I'm gonna hop around, see if I can't get to it. I'm like, that's not right. This is my friend. He's mine. This is mine. And I'm gonna point the lamp to it, and then just like, just the same way I suck into the lamp. Now I'm just gonna do it to someone else.
Okay, and where does that ability come from? Just I want to be clear.
It's the bottom one.
I think he's trying to not read it to everyone, which is fair.
Do you want me to? I'll
Yeah,
take
it's the
my
really,
headphone off.
really bad one.
you want me to-
Only I'm not doing the really, really bad stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. So go ahead and mark the thing that you have to mark.
Yeah.
Without getting into any detail on that. Sure, you steal the soul into your lamp.
It does light up now. I think it might give me like the light of a unicorn soul, which would be white light instead of my normal reddish orange glow thing.
Well, I know specifically what color it's going to be because I know something about the unicorn. It's going to be gold light.
Oh, fancy. This is mine now.
And that howl that you heard manifests again as the group of you. Okay, what are the rest of you doing? Like, okay, so he runs up there. You see him jump over something, hold out his lantern. The unicorn smoke soul thing, whatever it is, sucks into the lantern. You're like, well, that's a neat trick. And what do all of you do as the howling sound rises again? That half air howl, half bestial howl.
I want to look around for the horn.
Okay. Let's see what everybody else is doing too, and then I'll assign trait checks it for whoever has one appropriately.
Seeing that Sparky is on his own, like further out, like Parsley's like, no, we're not gonna do soloing. She's gonna try and jump over the muck. It's just like, nope. Hey, what are you doing?
Well, now that you kind of know there's something there, Sparky kind of pointed that out for you. Anybody who's heading that direction can make it over just fine. Sparky, also give us a quick description because to summarize, you filled up your shadow track, gained a corruption, and immediately used it. So what happens to you? Like, there's something about you that changes.
He's usually like his skin is just a solid, with some color variation as you go to like the extremities instead of like the core. And now it's cracked, and there's like some wisps of darkness coming out of there.
Okay. When you say cracked, is it like black veins, like you see like lines,
just
or is
like-
it cracked skin?
Yes, cracked
Like
skin.
it was
Broken.
smooth skin, it's now cracked skin. Okay. And Aqualaria, as you see, Sparky's not looking good.
Holding on to
I'm just like looking at the lantern and
That's all I got.
and like the unicorn is breathing, and the soul of the unicorn goes into the lamp, and the unicorn that you're holding immediately stops breathing.
There we go. Okay, so I yell, Sparky, let the soul out.
but it's mine now. Look,
Stop
it's
it.
so pretty. Oh, another bot.
It shines with a gold light.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it now!
Want to become famous?
Don't.
Woohoo!
No.
If you're
There
on
we
Twitch
go.
and you want to be famous, you are barking up the wrong tree, my love.
Decade too late.
Yeah.
You notice how there's like little nicks in the text that to prevent you from putting the exact text into the banned words thing, because that would prevent it from popping up.
Interesting.
Fancy. Well, banned anyway. So, yeah. So we've got cracked Sparky, an unbreathing miniature hornless unicorn, with a unicorn soul in a lantern. Huna Parsley pops over there just fine, and Junie is looking for the. So give me a mind check, target number 5.
I'm gonna use that spirit.
Looking for that.
Dice.
And now the light from the unicorn has, or the light coming out of the lantern has lit the area up to the point that the darkness thing is not affecting you anymore. You're not afraid.
Okay. I'm rolling 2 dice because I spent a spirit to give myself an extra 1.
Got quite the mind score there, don't you?
Might score of 1, but I got 1 success.
One success. Mark a skill, mark a spirit for that, and you find the unicorn horn has been buried in the in the ground, and there was just a bit of light was kind of shining out of the dirt, and it was buried in the ground, right where the soul was circling and swirling about.
I will grab it.
You reach down to grab it, and the earth rises up to meet your hand. It grabs the unicorn horn, and then the earth itself rises, a great mound of it that slowly forms into a 10, 12 foot tall earth golem, and earth and the earth come to life. And it is holding this unicorn horn like a wand, and it points it at Junie. Like Voldemort. Like Voldemort. There,
I want that too. It's a set. You can't have that one.
And I'm going to have everybody, we're going to go into initiative. Junie kicks this off, so you can go if you want.
Junie is going to boop down into a firefly to make herself a much smaller target, and she's gonna do the fly in the face, and be like,
Be distracting.
yeah.
Okay. Give me a charm check. Target number 4.
Okay. So here's, I don't know if I can do that yet.
Okay.
It says this is, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not an action. My other one is. All right. Charm. If I got spirit, I should spend it. I'm sorry. What was the target number?
4.
4. 2 successes.
Mark yourself from shadow. You distract this thing. It starts to pay attention to you. It starts to swat and kind of its massive dirt hands kind of start to swing at you, and you're able to and dodge around it. You've got a boon in there if you want. Can you think of anything that the boon might give you that's kind of appropriate to the action that you were taking?
I think in the swatting, Junie gets it to turn its body a little so that her allies aren't in its direct line of sight, and they could potentially sneak up.
Okay, so almost like you kind of get around it and it follows you. It turns and follows.
Yeah.
All right, who goes next?
I'm going to say, Sparky was right there, so.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay.
Sparky, you've got a unicorn soul. I mean, that's got to be worth something, right?
Mm-hmm. But don't have the whole set.
You only have one of the 3 parts to make the whole unicorn.
Aquilarius stole the first one. This one is closer now. Also, it's an important one because without this one, the other one is kind of worthless. So that makes it just a horse. So I'm gonna frustratingly jump up and down for a bit, and then I'm gonna.
He's got his lantern, gold light. Just.
And then I'm gonna go into my 3rd transformation form because I have 3.
Excellent.
And the 3rd one is a shade. and it's appropriate now because I've gone a little bit dark.
Okay, so you kind of turn into a shadow-like being. Yes.
Yeah. So just like with the fire elemental, the lantern is now part of my body, and so there's this unicorn-like glow coming from inside the shadow. And
Yeah. You
probably
can't.
gives a weird little effect.
You can muffle your form muffles, like kind of dims the light a bit, but it's still there. It's still very obvious. Like
So
you,
it's
so
like
you're a
bursts
shadow
out.
being with this golden center, this golden chewy core.
And I still have the little horns, only now they're just shadow because I'm not corporeal anymore. So I'm just gonna fly up to like its hand, and no, wait, I changed my mind on that. I'm gonna fly up to its face and like cover its eyes with just darkness.
Okay, blind it. So it can move freely. So you're going to try to just kind of stay with it and constantly be blinding it.
Yeah.
So
it go,
that's
it's mine.
that feels like a body check to kind of match your movements to whatever it's doing. Target number 5.
I will spend a spirit. Nailed it. 2 successes.
Okay, you are able to keep up with it. There's a boon there, mark a shadow. There's what can the boon provide for you? Like you're able to
I want him to drop the horn
effectively blind it. Okay, sure.
all at
It-
once. Like,
It
it
starts
for me.
it starts swatting at you to try to clear it, its vision, and it drops the horn, and is now sufficiently impeded that I'm going to do something where it explodes in just a ground zero of dirt that, as it flies through the air, immediately becomes that muck and starts to coat everybody. I'm going to need a let's see, Sparky, you get hit. Period. You're at point blank range. Everybody else gets a body check, target number 5, to not get completely coated in muck.
Spend that spoot.
Protected by a unicorn.
You're gonna block it with the unicorn? It's like
Just use your unicorn like a shield. Just
One
wipe
success.
wipe yourself off with the unicorn.
Towel.
The unicorn's already dirty.
I know.
so bad. This poor horse.
That's what it gets for being on.
So we had 2 people. Everybody successful. Everybody
Not
successful.
me. I didn't get a roll. So
Right, you got hit, but was everybody else successful?
Yeah.
I heard 2 people, so everybody. Okay, so you get pelted with some of this muck. Sparky, mark a physical condition, as this stuff. There's so much of it on you, it burns. It's like acid. It hurts. The rest of you avoid that. But end up with kind of being covered in some amount of it, getting spattered with some of it. The unicorn body that you're carrying, Aqualaria, like when it gets hit with this stuff, it starts just like reflexively bucks, and tries to like it. Not that it knows it doesn't look at you. It doesn't it doesn't necessarily know that it's being held, know that you're there, but it's like it knows that it's confined in some way, so it's bucking and trying to get away. And so it will continue to do that for a time. You'll have that to cope with there. And as the of the muck clears, the thing is still there, but it's a little smaller.
Does it still have the horn, or is the horn on the ground?
And it has dropped the horn, but nobody can see it.
No one. Okay, so it's been buried by muck.
It's been mucked.
Okay.
So it is not holding the horn. Nobody saw anything that looked like the horn go flying somewhere. So you would guess that it's near it. Like it didn't go flying, into a tree side or anything like that.
Didn't go skittering off.
Conveniently.
Yeah, because he went to start doing this, and then kind of almost simultaneously exploded in muck,
Right.
and so it probably right down there somewhere. And Sparky, who's
I'll have Parsley go next.
Parsley goes next.
Seeing the explosion, and kind of avoiding it, she's like, the horn, and she's gonna try and dig through the muck and just find it.
Okay. Well, digging through the muck is easy enough to do. It's just you're just going to slosh a bunch of it around. You're at the foot of this thing, which is continuing to try to get the Sparky spirit shade cloud thing off of its head. And so we're going to call this a body check target number 6, because you're trying to look for this thing and uncover it at the same time as to avoid being stomped by this thing that's reeling out of control.
Okay, I'm gonna be spending a spirit.
Because you're a tiny bunny and can get stepped on.
Can I aid her?
If you can think of something that you could do easily enough that from. Sure. I mean, what do you
Well,
do?
so Junie is still currently a firefly, and she's going to act like a search beacon. You know how in cop shows they always target.
Sure.
Over to the left. Over to the right. Here.
Can you direct your light?
Can I use my magic while I'm in my firefly form?
Well, given that it's not your turn, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You could increase your glow, it's kind of reactively very quickly to just try to give more light.
Yeah.
And then you spend the spirit for Parsley to gain the benefit.
Okay.
Would it give her an additional benefit?
No, it's you're
Oh,
spending.
well, never mind then.
Well, jeez.
Oh, okay, fine.
No, I'll spend it. I'll spend it. I'll spend it. I'll spend it.
It's a way for you to help someone do something so that they don't have to spend their own resource.
Okay,
You spend the resource instead. So
Yeah.
body target number 6.
1 success.
Oh, look at you. Very good. And you. Oh, there it is. Under the thing's foot right at the moment.
Oh.
As it's pivoting around, it's moving one leg as it's moving around, but it's kind of kept that foot in the same spot briefly. But you know where it is. It's right there. And then it's Aquilaria's turn, unless you have something else up your sleeve. Because all of the characters, for those watching, they have talents that don't necessarily require an action. There's some things that they can just kind of do like that.
With it becoming a size smaller than how it was presented, how tall would you say it is?
It's under 10 feet now.
Okay, oof, still a big boy.
It could probably, if it gets smaller every time it does that, if it can do it more, it would probably take at least a couple more times before it was real small.
I can make it little on my next turn.
Okay, there's really only one thing I can do, and it will be useful.
Okay, here we go.
Because right
Yeah,
now,
Parsley is just gonna stare, or at least have an idea where the horn is.
Right, just keep an eye on it at this point. Okay, it's right there.
So
You're just waiting for the thing to lift its foot off.
Yeah.
Okay. Aquaria.
Can I both put the unicorn down and take an action?
Sure, you can.
Currently holding onto a unicorn, and that's not good.
You can set the unicorn down easily enough.
Because the only thing that I can do is body check this thing.
Because it's big and you're big.
At it and full on shoulder tackle.
It finally pays off to be big. Here we go.
Exactly. It's all I've got. I'm big enough to do it.
Yeah, let's. That sounds like that feels an awful lot like a body check. You're looking to just move it, right?
Yeah, I just want to shove it back as
Just
far as
just
I
shove
can.
it enough. So yeah, a body
Come on,
check.
line
Body
back
ch-
or
Body
push.
body check target number 5. If it was
Okay.
smaller than you, I'd call it a 4, but it is pretty big still.
I am going to spend a spirit to add a die. And that means I get.
And
oh,
as
I
the woodkin just runs up in slow motion.
Clothesline it.
Dude. Yes.
Just right to the mat. Wham!
I will pull a full on rock bottom. Here we go. One success.
You knock it backward and off of the horn. Briefly, Sparky, it's like it gets knocked back and Sparky kind of stays where Sparky was. So briefly, it's able to see again. But then Sparky can.
I'm not following it. It dropped the horn. That's what I want.
Okay, gotcha. So now it's looking at all of you. That was Aquilaria's turn, unless you have something else up your sleeve.
No, that's all I had.
Who's next?
Well, Sparky is the most affected by the fact that it moved, so I think he should go next.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you were doing an action that was directly related, and now it's not there anymore.
I'm not sure if I would go for little Sebastian himself or the horn.
Well, you can see Sebastian, and you can't see the horn. If
That's
that
true.
makes
The unicorn Sebastian. Jeez. And it's got a giant the unicorn. Yeah. Well, I introduced a horse and you made it small, so of course it's got to be little Sebastian. I mean, it was bucking to get away from her, and it's starting to wander off, but reflexively, it's just kind of freaking out and trying to get away.
Yeah, I'll go for him.
Like if this were to go for a while, like this thing might actually wander off on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you zip over to grab to get to the unicorn. You can do that easily enough. Boom, you're there. That's just part of your movement. If you have anything that you want to do specifically.
I'm gonna hug him.
You hug
Pick him up.
You pick him up, and the soul of the unicorn in your lantern, which you wear around your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So as you pick,
I do go back to normal form.
You
I
pick
don't stay
right,
shadow.
gotcha. You pick the unicorn up, and so it's right in front of you, touching your chest, and the soul, like the light, the gold light from within the lantern, goes away, and as the soul enters the unicorn, which then looks at you square in the eyes, and starts to whinny and screech in pain and whimper in pain.
Stop that! Stop that!
Whose turn is it
We're
next?
getting your horn next. Stop that! And I'll stumble down the hill towards the horn. That's where we're going next.
Okay.
Complete the set.
And whose turn?
Oh, Parsley.
Parsley's turn. The horn's right there.
Yep. Go get that thing.
Nobody's standing on it.
She sees the horn. She sees the pushback being. She's like trying to assess everything. She's noticing Sparky coming back to the battle area. It's like,
With a very much alive horse.
What are you?
she just grabs the horn and is going to try and run towards Sparky, but away from the situation.
So the rabbit grabs the horn in its mouth, presumably.
Yeah.
And then starts to hop towards Sparky, holding in its mouth something that is vaguely the shape of a carrot, but is actually a horn.
Is it orange?
No, it is not. It's horn colored. It's bone colored. But it's like for a moment, everybody's like, "Is that a parsnip?" And you hop over to Sparky. That's just, like grabbing the horn and hopping over. That's movement. Basically, you're there. So.
Now I have a question.
Okay.
I made the horse little. What
Oh.
size is the horn?
The horn is like full size.
Awesome.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
You can unmake the little horse. You can make that end.
Well, that's.
I've been normally that lasts till the end of the scene. I've been being nice about it because it just makes it easier for you guys to carry it around. And I like the idea of Aqualaria carrying this like
Pocket
little
pony.
Yeah, basically.
So it turns back now because that would be hilarious.
I was going to say,
I'm carrying it.
hysterical.
If you want, like here's I mean, you've been wanting to do something as a reaction from where you are earlier, but so yeah, if you want to make the horse grow now, you
Well, as because I think I'd be next in initiative. That's when I would. Because I want to make this thing little.
I'd say like as she's like approaching Sparky, kind of realizing the size difference, but just everything going on, just drops it and just
It goes in pointy end first. So
No!
it's good.
hoping that maybe
you
Junie,
grab it at the wide end and you click it and just stick it right on there.
hoping that Junie can resolve this size difference situation. She's Percy's gonna just look at Aqualaria,
Just like, mess it up. You do what can do. Yeah.
as she used Call the Beast, and I'll spend a spirit, and she's again throwing Barbarian Rage at her.
Okay, so Aqualaria gains advantage on fighting.
Cancel.
Is that correct?
All traits to fight until the end of scene.
Any trait check that you use that is part of a fight, advantage for you. So who's next then? We got Junie and Aqualaria need to go this
It
round.
will be Junie to at least resolve the unicorn
The unicorn issue. Junie will concentrate for a moment, and she's going to basically like transfer the magic from the unicorn into this giant like mud golem thing. And she's going to spend a spirit to make it the same size as her.
What does your talent say?
Shoot, it's a friend.
Yeah, you didn't make friends
I
with
hate that. Well, she's going to embiggen
it. There we go.
Thorn.
That's a word.
It is.
And then, oh boy.
Well, the unicorn, whoop! Like, Sparky,
Yeah.
you can't hold that unicorn anymore.
And-
He's like, "Burp!" Falls back.
Parsley
And
just
we're
takes
in
a sidestep.
we have both my fears now, suffocating and being trapped.
Okay, I'll do this. Junie will zip over to the unicorn. And she's going to start like whispering to it in a calming tone.
Okay.
Because I have the talent Fear Be Gone. Tell a calming story to remove the effects of a character's fear. Junie doesn't want the unicorn to run before they can fix the problem.
That's fair.
So she wants to like comment, like whisper soothingly and like, circles.
Who's a good unicorn? Who's a good
Who's a good unicorn?
And you,
And try to calm it down.
and you calm it down so it lies there on top of Sparky, who is
Yes.
slowly being suffocated.
He's like a heating pad.
Sure.
Warm pillow.
And it's,
Yes.
I believe, Aqualaria's turn.
Yes.
And I shall beat on a golem.
Yes.
The dirt thing looks at you menacingly. It's now not being impeded. So yeah, give me a target body, or well, assuming a body check, but unless you've got something up your sleeve. But
No, I don't. Just a
okay,
body check.
target number 5.
And I'm getting an extra dice because of parsley, correct?
Yes,
Is
you
that
have
how it works?
advantage from parsley from.
Okay.
And you're, role playing wise, like you're enraged. You've got like this. It's weird actually for a plant person. You're like, I feel like this must be what like carnivorous animals feel like
Right.
when they're
But
really
the fact
hungry.
that she body checked it at all was kind of unusual for her. We're gonna go the full route. She's just gonna lose her shit.
Yeah, she's just slavering all over the place. There's like sap coming out of her mouth.
Oh, sap is sticky. We can use it to stick the horn back on.
So again, she'll lick it, and
Yep.
So what did you get for your?
One success.
You success. Okay, so you hit the thing. You punch this thing, swing at it. Dirt flies. Like you punch through it, and dirt just like a puff of dirt in your face, and there's dirt flies out the back of it. It doesn't get significantly smaller, but it like you put your fist through the thing. You get the feeling that if you had failed, like if you had tried to punch that thing and hurt it and not done so, you might not be able to get your hand back out.
Yeah, exactly.
And whose turn is it?
Aqualaria.
Aqualaria. Next
Go back
round.
to Sparky.
Back to Sparky. You can dig yourself out from it. The horse is now not. You can get yourself out from underneath it. I'm not going to kill you by a unicorn.
No, I have a lot of ways to get out of it.
Yeah.
One of my specialties is escaping,
Okay.
but also I can just go into the lamp, and I think that's what I would like to do.
Okay.
Then I spend a little time trying to get out, but I can't, so I freak out and go into the lamp.
Sure. And now the lamp just lies there next to the horse. So if you were to reform yourself again, you could reform yourself out from underneath the horse, still
That's
attached
actually
to the
pretty funny. That the lantern wouldn't be caught by the horse.
Yep.
And then I'm like, ah.
And then that's your anchor point, and you just reform on the other side of it.
Yeah.
That
That was easy.
that gets you.
Hey,
Are
my
tho-
friend is big.
are those-
I'll hug the horse again.
So that's your action. You're going to hug the horse. So you're grabbing onto the horse. Sparky, whose turn is it next?
I think we'll go Aqualaria again.
Okay.
All right. I'm continuing to beat on a golem.
Yep, you go deal with that. I'll deal with the hugging the horse. It needs doing.
One success.
You hit it again. Dirt flies everywhere. It bellows and explodes.
Yay. Explodes and then comes
You're
back.
at point blank range. You're going to take physical condition. Everybody else is going to
I hide
need to.
behind the horse.
We'll give you. Yeah, Sparky, you're on the other side of the horse. That's fine. The other two of you make a body check. Target number 5. No, target number 4. Because there's less muck being thrown this time.
Use the successes. Words.
Success.
One success.
And you each get kind of spattered a little bit, but nobody ends up being hurt. Other than Aqualaria, that's like burning muck.
Yeah, and I'm suspecting because that puts me at 2. I'm now rattled according to the sheet, but I suspect that's one of those. She kind of goes stumbling backwards, and some of the leaves fall off.
Well, this is physical. You take a physical condition. It's like it's burning. What does it say to the right of the?
I'm at a -1.
Right, but what's across from rattled?
Injured.
Injured. You're injured. Rattled is like that's the emotional side of the track.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I did the wrong side.
That's okay.
But either way, like that action would like send her, kind of falling backwards a little bit.
Yep. The only reason I bring it up is just to make sure that we're clear, because a lot of times it's just. A lot of times you're just dealing with. Oh, come on. Now I got to look this way. Jeez.
Yeah.
Your camera angle changed.
What happened?
It went to my laptop. I got to change to the other.
It's time to start the.
There we go.
There we go.
Phenomena.
I hit a key, and I think I hit.
problem that we have now.
I hit a key. I
Greg,
did
we
something.
Can't hear you.
Because you're muted.
I hit a
There
key
we go.
and I did something, and I'm like I muted and turned off my camera all at the same time. So here we go. Yeah. What was I talking about before everything went kaplooey? Yeah. To be clear on the conditions thing, it's like sometimes every so often there's an ability that where you have to. It talks specifically about physical or emotional conditions. I wanted to make sure we were tracking
Yeah, no, absolutely.
the
and I
right one.
just-
That's okay.
the right
No problem. Just wanted to make sure I was clear. So the thing blew up, and that was after Aqualaria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay, so
that was my
Aqualaria,
bad.
whose turn is it, Junie or Parsley?
Go with Junie.
Junie's turn.
The horn is next to the unicorn now, right?
Yep. And you can fly.
Yes. Junie is going to pick up the horn
Mm-hmm.
and try to and see if it reattaches itself.
You pick up the horn, you touch it to the stump, the nub on the horse's head. It reattaches itself in a flash of golden light. You gain a spirit immediately. Yes. The horn begins to glow gold and fill the this area in amongst these standing stones and these trees, and the light hits the trees that are speckled, that have like the speckled mirroring, and the speckling dissolves away, and the light hits the mirrors, and it just blooms in light in the whole area as it fills the whole center of this forest here. Each of you feels stronger and invigorated. And then it kind of looks to all of you, and it looks to the hulking earth mound golem thing, and you realize that you are invigorated and filled with power. Mechanically, this translates as if you hurt this thing in combat, even if you only get one hit, you still get a boon. So it basically counts as 2 hits. Then it's Parsley's turn. Unless Junie has something else quick that you're going to do. And you feel like the strongest rabbit ever.
And she, you know what? She's like, I feel powerful. I feel like
as a rabbit, I feel like a wolf or even a bigger creature.
Like a hare.
And I'm gonna go for the ankles.
and she's bolting straight towards the creature, and
Nice.
just tiny thing, large thing, boop.
All pressure points.
She launches herself like a missile at the earth monster. Target body check target number 5.
I'm gonna spend this spirit.
Yeah.
Just like,
Do it.
alright.
No.
In my head, I am imagining full force, and then squeak.
Junie Parsley fires herself like a rocket off the ground up into the chest of this thing on her powerful and strengthened and powered up rabbit haunches and lands and just smacks into the side of this thing and fails, and you mark a skill, and you like disappear into the earth of the thing.
Ooh, that's not good.
Parsley, from within the earth monster, whose turn is it? And everybody, we're back at the top of a round, so you can pick anybody.
Yeah, she hits it, and realizing mid being part of the earth, she's like, Junie! Oop, gone. And it will be Junie's turn.
Junie, go.
Um,
Your best friend just disappeared.
just disappeared.
Inside
Yeah,
it.
Parsley's best friend just disappeared into this thing, and Judy's going to say, "Give me my friend back." He's going to just like a Superman fly straight at it where she saw Parsley go in and like charge.
Okay. Body check, target number 5. If you fail on this, I'm going to lose my shit because you're going inside too. You're tiny.
I'm gonna spend the spirit.
You're a foot tall. I'm going to put half of the party inside of the monster.
Oh, I'm going next. So
All right. So 5.
Yep.
1 success.
Yeah.
nice.
And because of the unicorn, that's 2 hits. And you hit that the creature square in the chest, driving yourself through it,
Yes.
grabbing your friend Parsley, flying out the back of it, holding onto your friend Parsley, and the thing half explodes, half just whump, like a bunch of the dirt flies in every direction. It doesn't become muck, it's just dirt. It flies in every direction, just coats everybody in dirt, and the other half of the dirt that make up the thing just falls in a pile, whump, at Aquilaria's feet.
Parsley, are you okay?
I don't want to play with dirt anymore.
No, it's messy.
might want to change a different career path as she just starts kind of tossing off of some of her plants and just like, no.
No. I heard hydroponics is really interesting.
To talk to some water folks
Yeah.
about that.
I know some water spirits that we can talk to.
Are you okay?
Teeny tiny thumbs up.
Okay, good. Look, little Sebastian's doing perfectly fine. Aren't you, little Sebastian?
The unicorn looks to you, stands up fully,
Oh, you're so big.
and now looks down at you now.
Who's a good little horse?
And
Who's a
says,
good little horse? It's you.
and says to you, without moving its mouth, just in your mind, you hear it say, "My name is Goldheart."
Little Sebastian Goldheart.
And for those
Good
listening, right now, Goldheart is a, that's going to be a spoiler, a clue about something that's happening with Good Strong Hands next year.
Ooh.
But I'm not going to say any more than that. So Goldheart, what does that mean? Anyway, it just worked out nicely. It's a good name for a unicorn. So,
Yeah.
she says, "My name is Goldheart. Thank you." And she sort of does that pony prance, where they kind of like up and down a little bit. All the legs are very
I'll
animated.
mirror it.
They're kind of, she's kind of, basically like making sure everything's functioning and stretching her legs, and like she, still, with some of this gunk and muck that's still on her, although a lot of it fell off when she went whoop into full size, a lot of it just flew off, but she still got a little bit of it, and she's kind of getting her bearings, looking around to all of you, looks at the pile of dirt, and says, "We should go." And all of you hear this in your minds.
Where do you want to go, buddy? I'll go
Away-
wherever you want to go. You're my
away-
friend.
Away from that thing.
Okie dokie. I'll just pivot and go straight away from it.
Could we take you home with us?
No, she's coming home with me. My friend. Mine.
Marky.
I don't even have a home, but I could build one. It could be big or small and made of whatever.
Mr. Goldheart, sir.
Miss.
This is
Miss-
Ms. I apologize so very humbly. We kind of need you to cry.
You
Okay,
can
we're
make
going
my friend
straight to
cry.
the point.
That's mean.
She tilts her head and just sort of looks at you quizzically, like, what? And that's where I'm going to end the game.
Oh my goodness.
That's fair.
Perfect.
So that's the end of part 3. One more session. You found your unicorn now to get her to where she needs to go to end this problem and to get her to cry, to get tears.
Junie's just gonna reach up into her nostril and pull a nose hair. That always makes me cry.
That is not a bad idea.
That's a move
Jeez.
from a game.
Yeah.
Goblins.
Let's do a quick round here. Tell us who you are, and we'll sign off. This has been good. This has been fun. Everybody, thank you, players. I had a great time. You got your unicorn. Now one more task lies ahead of you.
If we can only make it through all the shadow we're gathering.
I know.
Paladin Hulk, tell us about you.
Well, I'm not corrupted by the shadow quite yet, thankfully. Hi, I'm Paladin Hulk. I play several RPGs on the internet. I just had a finale for the Monster of the Week show I was in yesterday. It went really well. A lot of crying, a lot of really cool descriptions and stuff. And I'll be appearing on Raven's channel again in the next year somewhere. We're going to be doing something else called Over the Garden Wall or something, or Over the Wall. It's going to be, I think, based on that show that we all. It's going to be cool no matter what because the GM's great. Tomorrow I'm appearing on Uncanny Adventures, where I'll return as Holt, the paladin who tries to make friends with the evil pirates. Ship's sinking, but we'll figure it out. Because that's what pirates do. Pirates stick together. Friendship. And Tuesday, I return as Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble fighter. And I have a chaotic tiefling to train in the matters of balance. And
That'll be easy.
Oh, God. This character that he's playing is basically Sparky, so...
Yeah, it serves you right.
Yeah. I love this character, by the way. I'm having a ton of fun.
Horrible.
That's it.
Ellie.
I'm Allie. I am not social in any way. shape, or form.
But you're a lot of fun, and Woodkin are great, and thank you for playing.
Absolutely.
And Liz.
My name is Liz. You can find me on Twitter at Favtastical. I sort of dabble on the internet, but I'm going to endorse. So I'm a moderator and a volunteer for Take This, which is an amazing charity organization which helps promote mental health in the gaming community. They have all sorts of amazing resources, and you should check them out.
Cool. And Huna.
I'm Huna Farron. You can find me at r/Wayfarers Pub subreddit. We're currently waiting for the arrival of Krampus due to
That's
due
gonna be
to
a long wait.
a bard who the last 2-3 years of the Wayfarers Pub being around has been pretending to be Santa, and Krampus does not like that. So who knows how it's going to end up.
Cool.
Krampusnacht. I'm Craig Campbell. I own Nerdburger Games. I designed this game and a whole bunch of others. Just a quick heads up. I've decided what I'm going to do come next year at some point in January. I'm not sure. This same time slot, Saturday afternoons, I'm going to run a longer campaign of a game called Nowhereville, which is a horror game that I'm developing. This will effectively be a playtest kind of game, so there'll be probably players will play some different characters. Some rules and things might change as we play the game because we'll be refining it. A great opportunity for the players involved to actually have a direct impact on turning the game into what it will ultimately become, and hopefully viewers be able to do that as well. Nowhereville is sort of a Stephen King / Twin Peaks / X-Files game of small town horror in this little town that won't let you leave, and so you're stuck there in the town with all the monstrous things. And also, sometime early in the year, there'll be a Kickstarter for a game called Low Stakes, which is basically What We Do in the Shadows, the RPG. If you're familiar with that, it's vampires, werewolves, ghosts, and that, like, living in the sharing a house in the modern day and not being very good at it. And so it's a very lightweight improv rules light kind of game. That I just got back from the editor, and the editor liked it. So
Yay!
Yay.
and
Sign me up.
there's minimal changes to make. I managed to goof up some stuff, but Merrick, my editor, helped to fix that. So and artwork is underway too. So if you're following me on Twitter at NerdburgerCraig, I'm sharing bits of artwork as well, which is a lot of fun. Ashley McCammon is doing all of the artwork for that. So that's what's on the horizon. Next week, we'll wrap this up, and then we'll all roll into the holidays, end of the year, and all that fun stuff, and we will bid goodbye to this year, and hope that 2021 is marginally at least better, and hopefully much better by further on into the year. So everybody stay safe. Thank you for checking out the game. Players, thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.